Hi, I'm Nick Pagano, National Artist for Goldwell. And what I'm going to share with you today is an avant-garde look that you can do on your client, that you can do on a model, that you can do on anybody. It's really amazing. And I'm leaning this more towards fall, winter, because we're seeing a lot of texture. We've been seeing a lot of texture in general coming back into the play of hairdressing. So what I did with Sarah is I just went in and made separate braids around her entire head, leaving the top smooth. I used our bodifying volume mousse, and what I did was double mousse it, which out with our Kerasilk style, it's one of my favorite mousses. And double moussing gives you that much more texture and grip. Went in and braided this all around her head using our Fixing Effect hairspray, sprayed each section all the way through, but not heavily, just to give it a mist of product, again, to create a little more grip and holds. Then what I've done, I did it all the way around. I haven't done it on the last two sections. I took my Barris flat iron and I went and flat ironed the entire braid all the way down. Now I went a little tighter where the braid started because I do want it to create a ridge, because I want to have the dual texture of the smooth texture and then the texture of the flat ironing in the braid. And what this is going to do is create these amazing ripples throughout the hair. If you noticed, I did not do the ends. So now we have three textures of hair all the way through. I'm going to go in and continue to flat iron. And I am going to put a little more grip. So if you could see on the Barris flat iron, these ridges on the end, and I use that as a finger grip to press to give me that a little bit more, because I'm not using the flat iron for smooth, I'm using it to crinkle. So I really want a good press. And because the hair is a little thicker, because it's in the braid, I want it to penetrate through to the other side. So I'm pressing that all the way down. And then I'm taking out the clip, and then we're letting it cool. I'm gonna do one more section to give you the real feeling for it. And again, where that braid started, I'm taking my hands and I'm going in really, let me try my hand this way, I'm going really hard right in there, because I want a ridge. And then I'm gonna continue down, doing the same thing all the way down to the bottom to where my clip was. What I did was I secured the ends, just with a large silver clip, because I felt if I rubber band it and then do it, it would just be a bigger struggle to take the braid out. So if we're just disconnecting, releasing the clip, my ends are all loose to start releasing this wave. Now I had the entire rest of the braids previously flat ironed, but I just did want to demonstrate. What you're going to do now is you're going to start releasing this. And what you're doing is you're creating this really beautiful, almost, I want to call it Gwenevere. It's a very romantic look and an amazing texture, especially for Sarah, because her hair is very slick and it's very straight. So she's getting this really beautiful movement that's trendy, but really still very, very natural looking. But then we're going to expand it, because I want to lean it a little more towards what a runway look would be, because fall, winter runway is just all texture. I'm going to continue releasing this and pushing it up so you could see, I'm pushing it forward so you could see the texture that's coming out from the braid and the flat iron. Now, of course, the smaller the braid, the more texture you're going to get. I have a combination. Nothing is symmetrical. I just, with my fingers, took sections. Some of them are thicker, some of them are smaller, but that also creates two different types of movement within the hair, and I think that looks more natural. This is absolutely something you can do for your client, and it's relatively fast. When you have a client come in for an updo, you have them with their hair dry already. So maybe this is the same thought process. They come in with dry, you come in and give it another mousse, go in and do the braids and the flat iron. So maybe that's a thought process for you. When you're booking at the salon, it all depends on how your bookings are, how long you give yourself. Let's turn you around this way. So I'm gonna go in and give this a little bit more spray with our Fixing Effect spray, and I'm gonna start to volumize this. Let me just get this away from here. So as I start to lift it, this gives a really beautiful, beautiful, sexy appeal. And I'm just going to go in with a wide tooth comb. It kind of gives a little bit Gwenevere / rock and roll look because it is very uncontrived. The texture is perfect. So look at the volume that she's getting out of that. Sarah and I were speaking earlier, and this season coming, it's all about the exposed accessories. So your bob pins and all of that could actually show. You can buy them in colors. You can buy them anywhere. You know, there's so many different types of bob pins that show. Let me just turn you a bit this way. I love the texture on this here. This texture is amazing, and it doesn't look so contrived. It doesn't look like a curl iron set. It just has a beautiful texture. I'm just going to go in, twist a little of this hair. I'm going back to Gwenevere. I can't make up my mind. Rock and roll Gwenevere, rock and roll Gwenevere. So I'm going in with a really nice accessory. Let me turn you this way. Which is a really beautiful rose gold bob pin. So just a little something that you can have in your accessory drawer. And I'm going to twist this back again. And these open like regular bob pins, but you can make your own design with them and start to create a look like this, which I love. And then I'm going to twist it one more time and bring this a little closer. And pin it, if I can get it going, let's see here. Get it pinned right in there. So that starts to create something really interesting. And I'll keep adding where I see fit. Now you can leave this as an asymmetric. You can leave this where it's symmetric on both sides, but it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for a little artistic value. Let's turn you around. Let me bring one over to this side. I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to twist them back. Let's turn you all the way around. Let's go this way. Sorry. I'm going to do a little twist. Another little bob pin. And then continue and just pull hair up and over. Really kind of in a very messy manner. And not exactly the same. I don't want exactly the same because anybody could do that. You want to create something that you see. Our clients come in with magazine pictures. Everything is kind of messy. So I'm just bringing that off her face. And then I'm going to pull these up to loosen them up to create a messy, really very uncontrived editorial piece, which is my favorite. Give it another quick little bounce in the spray. And we're done. Thank you for joining me.